Hey guys, Cam for 15 back at it with another video for you guys. Back with another Arifureta season 3 episode review for you guys as we basically get the conclusion of this little story, which will technically somewhat end in episode 5, before they get focused on the labyrinth stuff again. But it's kind of cleaning up some of the bits of Shea's family drama with the Beastmen and the Halia tribe getting captured by the Emperor. And then also it does close up the Lilliana like marriage storyline, right? So there's that. Look, man, interesting stuff here. Interesting stuff here. You basically, again, I made a mention in the last episode review, right? And essentially this episode, they have the implied thing of legitimately Lilliana falling for Hajime, mostly because he saved her from getting essentially sexually assaulted, right? Um, and everything. And then obviously you close up the Shea's, family drama and things like that. And Hajime just being a good guy at the end of the day, right? So let's get to it. So we start obviously it's the party thing for the engagement ceremony of Liliana and the Crown Prince, right? But obviously you remember like the Crown Prince legitimately like forced himself on Liliana, right? So then what ends up happening first when we see what's going or what we end up actually seeing first, what ends up going on is they're obviously everybody's enjoying the party and they're enjoying the food and everything. And then like it's funny now Tio's like, yes, let's enjoy everything before everything's, splattered and bathed in blood. I'm like, good God. Also, too, I've also forgot like how brutal this show can legitimately get. Because even in the very first scene in the episode, you have it to where the guards are just kind of like wishing that they could be in the party, but they're standing guard, right? And like one of the guards is like, man, I need a good bunny girl. I'm like, okay, man, yeah, I can relate. It makes sense. I can see why people want to get bunny girls. Listen, women do look pretty attractive if they're wearing the bunny girl costume. And then he talked about how you torment them, and I'm like, okay, then I don't side with what you're talking about if you want a bunny girl, right? And then you just have it to where like Shea's father and a few other of the beastmen, they just kill these guys with ease, like freaking stabbing the daggers into the necks, spraying blood. And always, it's so funny how Arifureta is such a funny, loving, comedic harem of a show, but at the same time, like this show can legitimately get quite fucking gory. Like some of the death kills are absolutely crazy. Like we see later on in the episode, they freaking cut off the Crown Prince's head and they actually show it. And I'm just like, oh yeah, that's right. Arifureta is not for the faint of heart, bruh. Like you gotta be like 18 years or older to watch this shit. Because not only do they have this and everything, like they legitimately don't hold back. Like they murk people. Like you see this show and you think, oh, this is probably gonna be your generic isekai where the characters just end up just like, blah 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 blah. You get your point, and then you see all these death and the fact how these people die, and you see the blood splattering all over the bed. It's like, good God, what the hell? So that's the thing. Anyways, the Crown Prince walks out with Liliana. Liliana changed her dress actually, and she's wearing a black dress, which everybody's kind of like at a shock. And like our group is like, whoa, like what the frick is she wearing a black dress? Because if for people that don't know, like black is a very strong color in terms of like, formal events, right? Especially if a girl's wearing a dress. Typically a black dress in some certain situations, it can be looked at as a way of like maybe like, defiance, what they made in the episode, or or just having a rebellious attitude, or just mourning strictly. Wearing black is more synonymous with like mourning, like the death of a loved one or something. So why she was wearing the black outfit, one, her original pink outfit got obviously ripped up, so she needed a new dress, but she started to wear black because one, also two, I kind of figured, I'm like, we do see it to where Hajime's main color is black. He has a black jacket and everything and a black outfit, so she could be wearing that because of Hajime and everything. She could be wearing the fact like, oh, the mourning of her old self because realistically she's going to be married into the emperor's family, and there will be no more like precious Lilliana. It will be a Lilliana that's probably in despair, right? So her wearing black is kind of like a mourning of like, I'm throwing everything away that used to be me, right? The other characters are obviously like, whoa, well, I can't believe she's wearing like black like that. Like she's wearing, it's black from head to toe, like black dress, even the crown, the little crown we see that she's been wearing, it's even black too, right? So essentially what happens is like, well, I guess I don't blame her for that, but it doesn't matter and everything. And he basically hints to Kaori and Shizuka because Shizuka comes, he's like, okay, I know it had something to do with you. What the hell did you do to her? And because that's the only reason why she's wearing black right now. And then basically Nagamo or Hajime is like, bro, why are you blaming me, Shizuka? Like, I have nothing to do with this. I did nothing. You should be thanking me. I ended up actually saving her from basically getting sexually assaulted. And freaking Shizuka's like, oh, I'm like, oh, who cares at this point? Whatever. And then she's like, wait, what? I'm like, what is going on? And then even Kaori's like, what did you just say, Hajime? And then they're just like pestering him, like, wait, what happened? What did you do? What's going on here? And he's like, Yue, let's go dance, right? And then they're just like, you can't leave us up on a cliffhanger. Tell us what happened. Don't try to walk away, acting like you don't know anything that you just told us right now. So they have a little bit of a dance, right? And everything. And it ends up funny because all the other girls, they're just like all looking at this whole thing. They're like, ugh, because they always hate him giving all this attention to Yue, right? And they're just like, and Shea is just like, well, after he's done, I get the next dance. And they're like, man, please, no, I should get the next dance. So they're like, okay, then we'll settle this in rock, paper, scissors. Who gets to dance with Hajime next? And Shizuka, this goes to show you that she's gonna be in the harem eventually, and also too that she has a crush on Hajime as well, because she's like, well, okay, I'll join in on this too, and then all the girls will look at him like, or look at her like, wait, what? And then she's like, oh no, I wasn't talking about dancing with him, please, like, no, 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 no. It's already common sense knowledge that we know that Shizuka has feelings for our boy Hajime, and she will be the next girl in the harem. I think the next main girl that we've seen in the show, she'll be in the harem, right? Because it's clear she wants some of that Hajime, you know what? Because listen, she is not. She makes the mention. She makes the mention multiple times about. Let's just say she's not really turned off or like oh gross when he like makes out with Yue and she comes across it. It's kind of the whole thing of like, that should be me. I should be the one making out with Hajime, right? And then she kind of plays it off like she wants nothing to do with that. But it's clear, like, no, she has feelings for Hajime and she wants to join in on that action. Again, Hajime by the end of this series is gonna have like multiple wives, more than Tengen from Demon Slayer. So legitimately, he has a whole pick of the litter. And also, it does make me jealous because he can get it on with all of them. He's got a nice little vampire lolly girl. He's got obviously two girls from his class that are obviously chicks and hot. He's got a bunny girl, an actual bunny girl. And then I guess you can say he's got a love crazed dragon. There's that. And the next thing now you can add is you got nice, cute princess, right? That's another harem thing, right? Oh, and then you also got Miu's mom, aka, I guess if you want to say a MILF, go right ahead. So he's got that. Anyways, I can't believe I said that. Going on. Lilliana comes, after Yue and Hajime's dance, and she's like, if you may I have this next dance and everything, and Hajime's like, okay, and Yue's like, look, go right ahead, it's okay, fine. So it seems like Yue is approving of the fact that Hajime can actually get with the princess if he wanted to. If she's giving him approval to dance with her, it only makes sense, like, she would get approval. Yue would probably give approval. Be like, oh yeah, she can be in the harem too, because we know Yue likes Princess Liliana. So basically, they have this dancing moment, and Liliana basically tells Hajime that she knows it was him that saved her. And Hajime's quite surprised, like, oh, I didn't figure that you knew it was me, and everything. And she basically talks about, well, she talks about the fact that, the whole thing and the fact this will basically be the last time, she's being a free, legit girl, because essentially, Hajime basically tells her, like, so if that's the case, then you do know, like, that will probably not be the last time you try something like that again. And she's like, yeah, I know, but that's the reason why I asked you to dance with me, because I want to get the last bit of me being, excuse me, a free, like, legit young girl like I used to be before I'm basically married away to this guy and everything, right? And then she just, let's just say, she gets very clingy. Like, she's like holding on to him tightly, and essentially she's kind of doing the typical, like, so if I asked you to save me, would you save me? And everything. Because I know that, you saved Kaori in her, like, darkest moment of need. So if it was me, would you save little me? And it's clear what she's implying. And even when you're just watching this dancing, you can easily tell, okay, the princess is completely head over heels for Hajime. She's in love. She's getting her dance with the guy she likes the most, and it's clear she does not want to get married to the crown prince, because she probably wants to be with Hajime, right? Even if it's foregoing the chance of potentially being a princess, legitimately. And Hajime basically replies, like, look, like, you know, he basically implies, like, yeah, I would come save you no matter what. But he basically tells Liliana, he's like, look, just be more honest and just be more transparent and tell me what you actually want. Otherwise, I won't be able to pick up on certain things. Which is quite interesting he says that, because he picked up on the case that clearly, she knew she wasn't cool with getting engaged to this prince, right? But, the fact that he said, like, well, just let me know. I guess you can also say it's a tribute back to, like, the first episode when Shea was when he asked Shea, like, okay, tell me what you want. Do you want me to do this for you to go save your family? Or do you want just to continue on our journey, right? And we can just drop the princess off, right? And that's when Shea told him, like, no, I want to go save my parents. I want to go save my dad, right? So it's basically kind of the same thing Hajime told Liliana. He's basically like, look, I'm willing to help you out. I'm your friend here. I like you good enough to be able to care and help you and everything. Again, like I said in the last episode review, he still has that old Hajime within him, where it's the loving, caring Hajime. That's not like this gritty, brutal Hajime and everything. Yes, he's still that, but he has that soft side of him still in there, because he's willing to go up there and help any members of his friends to do the right thing. So he basically tells her, like, look, if there's something you need me to do, just let me know. Just tell me. Like, I'll pick up on that faster than you kind of giving me hints and tidbits of, like, hey, come save me. I don't like being in this situation, right? So you get that whole situation right then and there, and their dance is over. You get probably one of the funniest lines. So after he's done, dancing with Liliana, he walks by all of the girls, and they're just like, and Kairi's like, I can't take my eyes off this guy for 2 damn seconds, and he's wooing every single girl he comes across. Listen, man, Hajime, look, with all due respect, Hajime was a fucking nerd. He didn't have Riz like that when he first, was, reincarnated, or not reincarnated, transferred to this world, sent over to this world, right? Now that he's a badass, he's got unspeakable Riz now. It ain't just what he does, it's just the look. It's just the actions he does, and just the badass nature that is Hajime, or Nagamo. Nagamo Hajime, right? That's my guy. He is the unspoken character of Riz. He's up there with the legends like Issei from High School DxD. Who else? Who else is any other harem show where they get the main dude, or all the girls, right? This man is a walking Riz master, right? So It's funny because Tio's like, he's trying to cut the crown prince. Oh my God, what a new fetish he's got. At that point, if I was Hajime, I would have shot her ass. I would have been like, no, shut the fuck up. You are going out to crazy. She's, this is what I'm talking about. Tio is absolutely crazy. She straight up used the word. Now, I'm watching the dub version of this, right? Um, the fact that she straight up said like, "Oh, you're trying to cuck the crown prince," it's crazy. Also, to the crown prince who was watching him and Lilliana dance, and he was getting very heated too about that. So I don't know if that means something or whatever, right? So, anyways, what happens is the plans. Shea's dad is like, "All right, the plan's ready to go into motion," right? So the lights go out. Shea goes to leave to go take care of some people, and she takes care of the dude that was kind of like oogling her, essentially saying like, "Come join up with me," right? And asking Koki to like give Shea up to him. And she basically takes them out one by one. She kills some of them, but she keeps some of them alive. She knocks that one guy like she's like, "Why don't you go take a flight to the moon?" Right? And she literally takes her hammer and hits him all the way, I guess, to the moon, but realistically, I don't know if she can do that. Regardless, the dude's gonna die because he's high in the air, right? He's going to die. So she gets a revenge, right? And she basically is happy that she did that because she gets revenge on the people in her flashback before she met Hajime and Yue of the Imperial soldiers that ended up being responsible for killing some people, her friends and her family and things like that, right? In the meantime, her dad is basically taking out the crown, not the crown prince, taking out the emperor, right? So they basically, what happens is the lights go out. They basically shoot arrows at the emperor. They get him down with some because they use a paralysis type of thing on him, and he basically sprays like this liquid on him to break the paralysis. And basically, he's like, "All right, what do you want?" And basically, the Beastman, or Shea's father, is like, "These, it's just four things that I want from these demands. And if you don't appease to these demands, well, then there's going to be consequences for these demands. I'm not going to go over the four demands. It was basically things that benefit the Beastmen, right? Just making sure, like, they don't get targeted by the Emperor, and essentially, like, they avoid any interaction, or they just leave them alone." Right? And he's like, "Look, if you go back on your code or if you try to negotiate your way out of this, well, then there will be punishments for your actions." So, like, punishment number one is like they got men like right near the crown prince, and it's like, and obviously the emperor's like, "Man, I don't give a shit," and they're like, "Okay, all right, hey, go kill him, please." They literally cut the crown prince's head off. Liliana's like watching this. She's like, "What is going on?" And Hajime is just in the back. He's just smiling at all this because he knows he instigated all of this. Everybody else is like legitimately shocked. Like everybody else in the party is shocked. Liliana's shocked. Shizuka's shocked. They're all shocked. They're like, "Wait, should we do something? Like, I think this is going a little bit too far." Hajime is just in the back, like, "Good job, Cam. Good job, Cam." So he kills the crown prince. The crown prince is dead. So which was the hint that Hajime ended up giving to Liliana. I forgot to make a mention. She gave a hint. He gave a hint like, "Look, you'll have nothing to worry about. You won't have to worry about being basically betrothed and stuck in this empire BS, right?" This is what he's talking about. Now that the crown prince is dead, Liliana doesn't have to marry him, right? So then they start blowing up like some barracks or whatever, and everything. And basically that's where obviously men are at now. Those are like beast, beastmen, prisons. Now, would we think beastmen aren't there? Probably not. They probably, saved them before they executed their plan and everything, right? And just did it under the guards' watch, right? So basically what happens is he's blowing them up one by one. He's like, "Look, I can blow up another one, and you can have more of your innocent people die." And the Empire is like kind of short on like, obviously men to fight for the country. So eventually, the Emperor just gives and is like, "Okay, okay, okay. I'll do it. I'll do it. Jeez." And that's where we gets what we want. And that's kind of where the episode ends off. So yeah, solid episode. You see Cam finally get his revenge on the Emperor for everything that he's done to the Beast People, and then you obviously get the funny moments of Hajime with the other girls, and then obviously, you basically get the confirmation in this episode that Liliana is in love with Hajime here, even though she doesn't directly confirm that. Like at the end of their talk, which another thing I forgot, at the end of the talk, she's like, you know, I'm actually quite jealous of Yue that she gets you all to yourself and everything. And when I heard that line, I'm like, oh yeah, she's in love. She's in love with Hajime. Ain't no way you're telling him this to his face that you're jealous of Yue and you quite are jealous of the other girls in terms of how much you have them on a pedestal in terms of how much you care. And the thing is, Hajime ends up telling her like, look, you know, you just have to talk to us. And look, when you're around like these dudes, which she's referring to the other girls, like you have people over here that actually care about you. So like you're gonna be fine. Just stick with you know them, and you will be 100% fine. Which is all the girls that are in Hajime's harem, right? Which, again, that's another foreshadowing of the fact of Liliana is going to be joining the harem. Now, I don't know if she's going to be joining the harem in season 3. If they end up doing season 4, which I think they will do season 4 because Arifureta, you know, if it's gotten 3 seasons at some point, you might as well just do a full adaptation, right? And I think the story of Arifureta is over, so they can legitimately do a full adaptation and conclusion to the story, right? But by him hinting at the fact, like, look, just stay around them and, you know, stay around the friends that care about you the most and they'll protect you no matter what. That's only, and he was realistically pointing at all the girls, right? That realistically is just telling you, like, oh no, Liliana's going to join the harem. She's going to be a part of the next Hajime line of wives that he's going to get. And it's going to be one of the next few girls that are going to be like, no, Hajime should be paying attention to me because I'm a princess. I can only imagine the banter she can have with the other girls. Like, no, 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 no. Hajime should be with me. I'm a princess. He likes princesses. I bet you that, right? So there's that right then and there. So yeah, but anyway, solid episode. Jeez Louise, again, like I said, they showed no mercy to the Crown Prince. They cut his head off. Honestly, needed to be done. Honestly, that's probably the best way you can kill a character off, behead him. Especially with the fact he literally tried to assault a girl that's like a teenager, right? Like sexually assault her, right? Which you gotta remember, like some of these characters legitimately in the age range of like teenage, like they're 15, 16, 17 years old, right? Um, but I think Yui's quite old. No, Tio's like the oldest because she's like actually like an ancient person, right? I think Yue is also quite old and everything, right? But you get my point. Like Hajime is still technically like 15, 16-year-old boy. He just looks adultish and everything, but you get my point, right? But anyways, that is it. I'm gonna get out of here, guys. If you guys like the video, leave a like, put in the comment section your thoughts, hit the subscribe button if you want to get more Arifureta content or any other anime content uploaded to the channel. So then, guys, stay safe out there and have a great rest of your day and whenever you're checking out this video. Peace.